Good morning, my grade 4 students. How are you all, guys? By the way, this is Miss Alni, and I hope you're all doing great, and I hope I can see you around next time. So for now, just stay at home, stay safe, and stay healthy. Anyway, before I start the lesson for today, let's have a quick recap of the previous lessons. So we've learned Chapter 7, the Southeast today, which has 3 lessons. So first lesson, we discussed about the Atlantic coast with its physical and cultural features. Lesson 2, the Gulf Coast states, that explains the region's population and cultural diversity. Lesson 3, inland South states, that describes region's geography, affects its culture and economy. Now fasten your seatbelt because we're going to explore the Midwest. So the one here highlighted, this is the Midwest. So in this chapter, you are going to learn about its geography, about its history, and climate. Now let me introduce the lesson's objectives. First, describe the geography and climate of the Midwest. So when you say geography, it means the physical features like mountains, valleys, rivers, and seas. And number 2, explain how people in the Midwest use the land. So basically, we're going to find out how people of the Midwest or how people in the Midwest use the land resources for a living. And here are the 5 regions of the United States. I hope you still remember this. So first we have the West, we have the Southwest, the Southeast, the Northeast, and the Midwest. So we're going to learn about this area, which is the Midwest. And here is the complete or the whole map of the Midwest. So there are 12 states in this region. So first we have North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, Kansas, Minnesota, Iowa, Missouri, Wisconsin, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, and Michigan. So again, there are 12 states in the Midwest. So before we go further in this lesson, let's unlock first the vocabulary or the challenging words of the lesson. First, we have the word prairie. So when you say prairie, it is an area of flat or rolling land covered mostly with grasses and wildflowers. So here are the pictures for your references. All right, so I would like to tell you that grasses that grow on prairies, guys, are different from the grasses that grow on the most lawns or the one that we have in the gardens or the one that we have in the park. All right, before I continue, guys, let me ask you this. Why do you think it is important to protect the prairies that are left? I'll give you a second to think of the answer. Simple reason is that people want to protect the plants and animals that exist in the prairies. All right, number 2, we have the word tornado. So tornado is a funnel-shaped spinning windstorm. So here are the pictures of the real tornadoes actually that happen in the Midwest. Have you seen one for real? Actually, I've seen one when I was a kid, and of course, I got so scared. Look at this. They can destroy buildings, they can uproot trees, and they can even hurl vehicles. So these violent storms occur around the world, but the United States is a major hotspot with about 1,000 tornadoes every year. Could you imagine that? I can't. All right, so we have the third word. Drought. So pictures will really help you a lot, guys. And I believe, and I'm sure that we'll learn the word drought in science lesson, actually. So here, so when you see drought, it is a long period of little or no rain. Okay, so whenever, actually it's not only rain, guys, it could be snow, because some places, of course, has a lot of snow. So whenever there is a shortage of rain, snow, precipitation over a long period of time, then drought is happening. All right, so what do you think would be the effect in a certain place when there is no rain, like for a long time, what do you think would happen for the trees, for the plants, people, and animals? I will get back to you for the answers, okay? Right, so let's move on for the next word. And this is, by the way, the last one for the vocab. We have the word ore. So ore is a rock that has one or more kinds of minerals. So actually, this is a mineral which has metal inside. So it has, or they are usually extracted by being mined. Okay, so those are the words that we have in the lessons, I mean the vocabulary of this lesson. So here it is. Let's move on to the Great Lakes to Great Plains. Thousands of years ago, glaciers formed the interior plains and the Great Lakes. So fields of corn, we have wheat and other crops are common sights in the Midwest. So the interior plains are the main reason. So these flat plains covered, guys, the whole or the entire Midwest. So look at this map. So this is the Midwest. This is the whole United States, isn't it? So this one, the Midwest. So it all covered, these flat fertile plains covered the entire Midwest. Okay, and the interior plains formed thousands of years ago, and they took shapes as glacier pushed south over the north or over North America. And here, glaciers also formed the region's Great Lakes. So here it is. So we have 5 Great Lakes. And thank you for Miss Joel, by the way. This is the idea of Miss Joel, grade 4, the Great Lakes. So she made an acronym for us to remember what are the H stands for, or O, M, E, and S. So first we have Huron for H. We have Ontario. We have Michigan, Erie, and Superior. So look at this, H, O, M, E, and S. So this is the idea of this journal, by the way, guys. Brilliant, isn't it? All right, so here, so this, the one in yellow, this is the interior lowlands or the interior plains, and next to it is the Great Plains. So they curve out 5 huge holes in the curve or in the loop areas. Then the climate warm, then the melted ice formed the glaciers, guys, or the melted ice from the glaciers slowly filled the holes. Then, as the climate warmed, miles and miles of the prairies were left in the interior plains. So when the early settlers saw the central plains, they describe it as a sea of the grass, or again, a sea of the grass. So because grasses grow very tall in this area, so in the central plains, grasses were growing tall compared with the other parts of the plains. So here, so in the Great Plains, so however in the Great Plains or in the drier part of the Great Plains, the prairie grasses did not grow as tall as in the central plains. So today, crops like corn and wheat have replaced most of the tall grass prairies. So now before I end the lesson, I have some question for you guys. Here, I have only one lesson just to wrap up everything. So how would you describe the geography of the Midwest? So I've given you 3 quick pictures actually for you to fill in what's the missing words in here. So the Midwest is a region of, what word that stands for L? Look at the picture. What are the physical features of this? Okay, of these pictures. So P stands for what and F? Okay, seconds again for you to think of the answers. All right, so L stands for lake. Very good for those who got it right. P stands for, great job for the one who got prairie. And F stands for farm. Wonderful for those who got all correct answers. So the Midwest is a region of lakes, prairies, and farm. So just a quick summary of the entire lesson for today. So the interior plains cover the entire Midwest. Farmers grow corn in the fertile central plains and wheat on the drier Great Plains. So next time, guys, we're going to continue this lesson actually in the next meeting. We're going to discuss more about the climate and the natural resources of the Midwest. So bye for now. You guys take care all the time. See you soon.